Overpromised with Covino and Rich. Do it.
Oh, hey! Hey! Happy Halloween from Covino and Rich. Daniel-san Covino of Miyagi-Do Karate.
Let's be honest, I'm the weakest ass Johnny Lawrence of all time.
Dickie Lawrence here. Cobra Kai. Bonsai!
Whatever, LaRussa.
Again, welcome to the show, our bonus podcast, Overpromised, episode 68. Happy Halloween. Normally we're on 2 to 4 on the West, 5 to 7 on the East. Fox Sports Radio, just search Covino and Rich. But got a little treat for you in the form of, people that maybe you switched your mind on. Things you switched your mind on.
A little change of heart.
There you go, a 180. Plus, Rich has your bets for Thursday night foosball. And since we're dressed as Cobra Kai, it makes us think of November 15th.
Oh, that's a big day because not only Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, new date, same fate. We also got the final season, Cobra Kai.
Well, it's part 2.
Of 3, right?
Part 2 of the final season. Again, November 15th of Cobra Kai. Also, New Lincoln Park comes out on November 15th. So fun.
How are you going to contain yourself?
Exactly. Day. But I'm kind of excited about, how's this going to wrap up? We have to give props to Cobra Kai for really bringing it and coming back. It started on YouTube Red, and then Netflix got into it, and then the world got into it. It was a pretty big show, but Rich is saying that it maybe overstayed its welcome a little bit.
Slightly, right? And we have other shows and people that have overstayed their welcome. But when I think of Cobra Kai, the crazy part is Billy Zabka, Ralph Macchio, these guys did a couple hours of movies when we were kids.
Yeah.
They are far more popular for these roles on Cobra Kai.
I agree.
Way more hours, multiple seasons, but
you're saying they stretched out maybe a little too long, cashed in a little too long. You could say the same thing about Stranger Things. By the time that comes back, these kids are going to be 35 years old with mustaches, right?
That's true. But there are times, though, where too much of a good thing, because, listen, we love Cobra Kai, but it's at the point now where I'll watch, but I'm not that fired up about November 15th.
I mean, after the Tyson fight, after he wins, got to put some good mojo out there. We'll probably tune in. How about you? Let us know. But it got us thinking about maybe shows, players in sports, they may have overstayed their welcome.
Well, if you talk about shows, we'll throw Cobra Kai in there. How about a show we all loved in the 2000s, The Office? But when Michael Scott left, when no more Steve Carell, I mean, we all love Ed Helms. We love, Will Ferrell. We love what they brought to the table. But the newer Office,
these are one of the things that I'm going to have to take your word on because I never watched The Office. But I do know that anytime a main character leaves, it's never the same. And you're like, right?
Yeah,
So,
I mean, if you want to talk about when people leave, I always thought it was odd how they tried to keep Roseanne going as the Connors, and I think it might still be on. Who gives a shit?
You know what? Not watching without Roseanne. Way overstayed. I know that wasn't the plan at all, but way overstayed its welcome there. And how about this one? It may be number 1 on the board when it comes to TV shows, and it's not Cobra Kai because clearly I'm a fan. The Walking Dead. And look, you have to be awesome to even be on this list, right? People have had to care at least at some point to even make the list because we welcomed this show for a long time. We loved this show. This is one of my favorite shows, but it got to a point where I'm like, I think I'm over it. I think we all felt that way. And I know the turning point for me is when, spoiler alert, Coral died.
Coral!
I still watched for a little bit, and then Fear the Walking Dead came out, and I'm like, this got some juice. But then I totally fell off. I don't even know what happened on that show. So I went from so invested to not really invested at all.
Yeah, listen, it was must-watch TV. I would say it's probably on a lot of our top 10 lists, like of all time. Like,
that's what I mean. Like all the shows we mentioned were great at one point.
You look forward to every episode, but you're right. Coral died, and there were the Whisperers, and Negan, and the Governor, and you know what it turned out to be? It ended up being like Hulk Hogan in the 80s and 90s, where every month or every season Be like, who's the new bad guy that seems unbeatable that Rick and the crew will beat?
And where are they living now?
Look, it's a photo of Rich, Carl, and Rick Grimes.
Oh, yeah, C-Block. That is me.
Yeah, the biggest C block I
Carl. So that's TV shows. Walking Dead, The Office, Cobra Kai, The Connors. I'm a big How I Met Your Mother fan. And a lot of people hated the last season because of who the mother died and everything. But even that last season sort of stretched on. Same with Dexter. So even great shows sometimes limp to the finish line.
People often bring up Dexter when it comes to this stuff. I kind of like the comeback. I sort of like the way it ended. Did it overstay its welcome? It's coming back. Yeah. I don't know. But based on Cobra Kai, I'm excited for it. But I could see how people said, it should have ended last season. Right. But they got to cash in. Now, when it comes to athletes...
you mean you're not excited about the Sakai Takai?
Yeah, I know. That's a little corny. I get it. Well,
listen, let me tell you.
November 15th.
When I moved from the East Coast to Southern California, I thought karate would be a way bigger deal. We live in the Valley. I don't see this karate love.
That's right here.
Are you going to buy your new car, by the way, at LaRusso Automotives?
Yeah, man. They're chopping down the competition.
Yeah, you guys aren't actually wearing costumes. You have a karate bout later.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're fighting in the All Valley Championship later on.
People don't know. I go to the dojo later.
Oh, wait.
Today.
They thought this was a Halloween costume? No, there's a tournament later.
Yeah, sorry. See you in Tarzana.
When it comes to overstaying your welcome, you think of athletes, right? A lot of greats. You have to be a great to overstay, right? Because you're worried about their legacy, but it's their legacy to worry about. What comes to mind to me as a fight fan is Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali was 56-5, the greatest of all time, the prettiest, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. No one greater than Muhammad Ali. But he lost 3 of his last 4 fights, and quite honestly, he shouldn't have been fighting at all. He lost to Leon Spinks, a young Larry Holmes, and Trevor Berbick. He was fighting in 1981, dude. You know what I mean? So it's like he stayed way too long. He wasn't all there. He wasn't the same Muhammad Ali. He shouldn't have been in the ring, but they let him in the ring. When you watch back at those fights, there was no way this guy was going to beat a young, hungry Larry Holmes. He just stood on way too long.
That's the thing. When you are the best.
Yeah.
Around, nothing's gonna ever keep you down. You're the best. When you're the best around, a la Muhammad Ali or Tom Brady, unless you do a John Elway and walk away after back-to-back Super Bowls, you're always going to see decline. Like, I hate to say it because everyone sweats him like he's the Lord and Savior. Michael Jordan as a Wizard, I know he came out of retirement, but to me, that overstayed its welcome. Like, I want to remember Michael Jordan as a Bull. This to me was like, when Michael Jordan was scoring 20 and the Wizards were like trying to make the playoffs, that was not the Jordan you wanted to remember.
No, and again, it's understandable and it's his career and we respect all of that. But when you're such a legend and you're a GOAT, we as fans don't want to think about that. And we're like, yeah, the Wizard days, kind of overstayed his welcome.
Well, to wrap up this list, we're going to witness it maybe later on tonight. Aaron Rodgers on the 2-6, maybe after tonight, 2-7 Jets. Like, this guy was on top of the world in Green Bay, quintessential playoff team year after year after year. Arguably, people said he has 1 Super Bowl, but always in the conversation of best quarterback of all time.
Yeah, no, and you're getting the feeling that he stayed around a little too long. This whole Jets portion of his career, no bueno. You're getting to hear too much about things you don't care about, like he's drinking cayenne pepper and water, so he feels great now.
Oh, you mean the fountain of youth?
Yeah, he found the fountain of youth. It's like nobody's rooting against any of the people we talked about, especially Aaron Rodgers, but starting to get the vibe that he stuck around a little too long.
A little bit.
A little gray in his beard. Yeah. He's on a weak-ass team. It's not the Aaron Rodgers that you know and that you want to remember. Do we wish he could turn it around? Sure, why not? I'm a fan of greatness. But look, Father Time, undefeated, as they say. No hate. Not hating, just stating.
I'm sorry. I'm a little distracted because while you have the dark hair color of Daniel LaRusso, look at this weak-ass blonde wig.
Where?
That's a wig?
That's a wig.
I mean, it's no different than your brown wig.
I mean,
it's just a little messier.
It's true.
You mean the one he wears every day?
Yeah, the one you wear all the time.
Yeah, this looks weak as hell.
That's technically a toupee, but
Johnny Lawrence.
So if you want to add to the list of anything that overstayed its welcome, hit us up at Covino and Rich, at Fox Sports Radio, hashtag Overpromised. What do you think about the names we came up with? Like I said, add to it all you want.
Well,
now that being said, moving forward, I do want to reluctantly congratulate the Dodgers for meeting up with a Yankees team that blew it. Yankees didn't show up. I feel so bad for this guy right here. His first and only error of the year, Aaron Rodgers.
What's that he's holding?
I mean, Aaron Judge.
Aaron's are not having a good time in New York.
Yeah, Aaron's are having a bad week.
What's that he's holding?
Oh, yeah, this is the bat that he lost during the postseason. But he had a nice home run yesterday, man. But his first and only error at the worst time possible because everything unraveled then. And again, not to take away from the Dodgers. The Yankees suck, though. Congrats to the Doyers. And, Rich, not only did the Yankees lose the World Series, but I think they lost Juan Soto in the process. I really believe that. If you were him and you had all these options, would you want to sign up to play with these dudes who choked when the bright lights were on?
I mean, Juan Soto is talking like a businessman the minute the World Series ended, saying like, yo, he's open to all 30 teams. He has no preference.
I know.
Bring it. So
I mean, I think those are negotiation tactics. Like, why say he's happy? Why say he wants to stay when there's so many people that want him? But let me tell you, before the start of the season, look, he's going to be available. There he is.
to all 30 teams.
Saying what's up to the fans. Before the start of the season, you know, I'm an AL guy. Soto was in the NL for all of his career with the Padres and the Nationals. I wasn't that keen on Soto. I know he had great numbers, and, you know, I knew he was a great player, but Rich was like, dude, you're going to love him. And you know what? I sort of pulled a 180. I was indifferent on the guy. I'm like, yeah, he's good, but how many good guys show up to your team and deliver?
I remember
he was the real deal.
When the Yanks got Soto, thank you for giving me props, because I saw him way more often being a National League. I watch more National League baseball, and I'm like, Covino, he works every at-bat. He walks. He gets on base. He's like motivated, like everything about him. He plays hard.
So I went from not that excited about Soto to realizing, well, they wouldn't be at the World Series without this guy.
Yeah.
He's a clutch dude. He's got a lot of heart. The Yankees need that. I went from being indifferent, pulling a full 180 to like, yo, this guy's awesome. 44 bombs. Props to him. You know, so again, it's all about that fine line or that thin line between love and hate.
Yeah, things
Not that
that
I hated Soto, but I didn't really care about him that much.
course.
Now I love him.
There are things you're allowed to change your mind on. So when you think about those things that you pulled the 180 on, or you know what? I used to feel completely different.
Well, you're allowed to change your mind, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, let me give you a few if you want to go through these.
Sure.
Things that you've changed your mind on drastically, and hit us up at Covino and Rich. Speaking of sports, Fox Sports Radio every day. Before I had kids, I was the guy that was like, what do you mean you don't keep score? Yo, you got to win. Win. A bunch of pussy kids these days. And then I started coaching my daughter's softball, t-ball. I started coaching and helping out with soccer. And I see these 4, 5, and 6-year-olds running around. And I'm like, you don't keep score. Keep score of what? They don't even know the fundamentals of the game. They hit the ball. Every kid bats. They all run around the bases. Half of them run in the wrong direction. So I used to think you need to keep score and be competitive from the minute you start. Now I say 8 to 10 years old when they really start to grasp the game.
Again, you're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to evolve a little bit. And it's not that you're saying don't keep score at all. We're just saying that now you get it. Maybe around 8 or 9.
Yeah.
I actually agree with that after witnessing it myself.
There's my daughter's little soccer team. You think the Blue Mermaids are competitive?
No, yeah.
I mean,
it doesn't matter.
Bunch
Right.
of cute little girls that are in 1st and 2nd grade. But again, they keep score, but it doesn't matter when they're that age. And I'm the most competitive dude. I used to be that asshole that was like, we don't keep score. What the? Now it's like, who cares?
And by the way, isn't that called growing? Right?
Yeah,
You're allowed to
growing.
grow and see things differently.
I'll give you
You
one.
may disagree, and that's fine. Hit us up.
Something I changed my mind on when I was like 20-something.
Yeah.
Sushi. I used to be the kid that was like, ugh, sushi. And then barf. I was trying to impress a girl, and then she's like, let's go out for sushi. And I'm like, yeah, sure, sushi.
What?
And she sort of schooled me a little bit on Japanese food. And to be honest, today, if you what do you want for dinner? I could house like all you could eat sushi. I love it. But
Do you think I'll get a discount if I show up like this? Or?
I would think you worked there.
Oh, nice.
In character.
You know, I still think douchey sushi, and I'm still a little boy deep down.
You're a 40-year-old guy. What are you doing?
Bleh, I don't like it. I don't like it. I still don't like it. But I get it.
Are you 12?
It's one of those things you develop. You're what's advanced palate. You have a more advanced palate than I do. I'd rather have chicken fingers than
But you're
sushi.
a grown man that's
I don't
like,
like it.
ew,
Yeah,
seafood.
I'm still like barf. But if the woman in your life wants to go out and get some, I'm not going to say no. But
Is that why you're a teriyaki boy?
I like anything steak teriyaki, chicken teriyaki.
Go to a Japanese restaurant. Covino's like, you got teriyaki?
But I'm sure there's plenty of examples where you hated it and now you love it and pulled a 180. I got some personal examples. Like music, there's a lot of music examples. I remember people were like, Lil Wayne. I'm like, I don't like Lil Wayne. I think he sucks. Then all of a sudden, again, that thin line, right? I love Lil Wayne. But I got other examples, sports examples. LeBron James. Dude, at first, I hated LeBron James. For years, I hated LeBron James. As I grew and I saw how he was with his family. We moved out here to LA. You see him day to day. What he brings to the game, he's still bringing it. It's
true.
Unlike Jordan, who we talked about before at an older age. Dude, I pulled a full 180 on LeBron James.
How do you feel about Bronny?
Back in the Miami days, I didn't like him. But he also changed a lot too, though.
I'm so glad you said that, Spot. Bronny, it was so cute. Yesterday, I saw him. He was dressed up for Halloween. He was wearing an NBA Lakers uniform.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Wait, I'm sorry. That wasn't a costume.
That's a cute father-son costume. Look
Oh,
at that.
that's cool. Bronny dressed up like an NBA player.
He's like his daddy. He's a big boy.
But again, with polarizing people, you're going to get I don't like them. You're going to get this reaction, and then they might grow on you as years go on.
Yeah,
I didn't like
certainly
LeBron
play, yeah.
for years. Now I do. So I pulled a full 180. Gary Vaynerchuk, another polarizing figure, big Jets fan. He wants to own the Jets someday. I used to be like, I hate this guy, Gary Vaynerchuk, man. Shut this guy up.
Give the reason why you hated him.
Well, it was a personal reason, but I also didn't like his loudmouth sort of blowhard delivery. He used to, his one day a week show used to interrupt our show on SiriusXM. And I hated anyone that interrupted our show.
Our replay of our show would get cut off for Gary V show. And I'm like, Covino, there's something with this guy. You're like, I hate him. Now you love him.
Now, honestly, I love him. I love what he stands for. I love his passion. I love how he talks about kids today and just his motivation and him as a guy. We've gotten to know him. But at first, I hated that dude. Now I actually love him. Full 180.
Yeah.
Same sort of guy, Dave Portnoy. Same sort of guy, meaning polarizing, loudmouth. I'm like, fuck this guy. And even when he was on our show, I'm like, fuck this guy. Dude, fast forward, uber successful.
You love him.
And now I love all the stuff he puts out, and I love all his minions that work for him.
Yeah.
Jack Mack, KFC, all those guys are great.
Yeah.
I went from hate to love, full 180 with Portnoy.
Because again, there's that thin line. And I think I have the number one answer on the board, being that today is Halloween. Before I had kids, because listen, kids will change your mind on a lot of things.
Have kids, they said.
I used to think trunk or treat. What the fuck is that?
So did I, by the way. Yes, me too.
And
I was like, that's some cornball shit.
So wait, the parents have their trunks open with candy?
Like, what happened to old-fashioned trick-or-treating? These wussified kids.
And now I hate trick-or-treating, and I think trunk-or-treating is awesome.
Well, hold on. Again, when you live it and experience it, and when it's your kids, you change your mind, you understand better. We also had the misconception, like Dave Concepcion, we had the misconception that trunk or treat was replacing trick or treat.
Oh, no.
Like you could do both. Trunk or treat is a wonderful time in a kid's life, a family's life. You take your kids to the school parking lot. There's a dance party. It's safe. It's contained.
They got games
Yes,
and food
it's
trucks.
elaborate.
Yeah, and let me tell you.
And then you go trick-or-treating afterward.
I had the trunk or treat with the family. My wife goes above and beyond doing these crafty things for our
What is
car.
that? The Oogie Boogie Man?
It's like a slime monster.
That's the trunk?
Yeah.
That's how next level it is now.
Listen, food, dance party, the kids are having fun. Trunk or treat up here. You know what we got to do tonight when we're done here?
What?
I have to walk around the neighborhood. You know what you do? You walk up to all these houses.
I thought we had a karate tournament.
The lights are out. Yeah, trick or treat. Is anyone home? Sorry, kids. Next house. Trick or treating sucks.
Don't be that suck-ass house, by the way, and give out some good-ass candy. But I did pull a 180. I agree with Rich. When Rich and I agree, it's fact.
I still take them trick-or-treating, but trick-or-treating way better.
I thought that was some weak-ass, modern-day, corny, keep the kids safe sort of thing. And it's so much fun because you could still trunk or treat and have a party and have fun and all that with the school kids, and you could still trick or treat. It's just a bonus there. So enjoy that today. And what are some things that you pulled a full 180 on, like me and Juan Soto? I used to Juan
maybe
Soto.
chill.
I don't
Maybe
know.
people are like, I hate it, Covino. Now I love him.
I could easily be one of those guys because I could rub you the wrong way maybe at first, but then you get to know me, like he's not so bad.
Yeah, Spot. Like I used to love Spot.
Oh yeah,
No, I meant about you guys. I used to like you guys.
Oh, okay. Well, we feel the same way about you.
It's
Spot.
mutual.
Oh, great.
It's mutual, yeah.
All right, you know what?
So
Well,
it's a push.
While you are trick-or-treating, while you're, chilling out with the friends and family, Halloween, there is a football game tonight. So I want to go over a quick teaser bet. DraftKings, use our code CRSHOW, DraftKings.com, code CRSHOW. I don't get this at all. The Houston Texans are 2.5-point underdog to the Jets.
Possible?
Because
I know some injuries or whatever, but still.
Nico Collins, there's some Stephon Diggs is hurt.
Jets are home.
Jets are home.
Still.
Short
Still
week.
don't get it.
I love the Texans getting 8.5. The Texans as an 8.5-point underdog, and you tease it from 42.5 down to 36.5, and you pick the over. So Texans plus 8.5 as an underdog, and you need the total score to be over 36.
I like it.
So, I mean, you might have that out on the background, checking on your phone while you're walking around with the kids in the neighborhood.
Do you think professional sports pulled a 180 on gambling or no?
You think? They weren't able to mention it.
I know. Now they lean into it.
Now,
huh?
like mid-game, they're like, the over-under on Garrett Cole's strikeouts.
2 words, Pete Rose.
Yeah. And by the way, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
This
5
is
words.
Aaron Rodgers' night to prove us wrong. You still got it. Maybe you didn't overstay your welcome, or maybe it really is a bad week for all Aarons. We'll see.
Covino, 2-6. As we joked, they'll have to go 8-1 the rest of the way.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you go 8-1 when you lose to the Patriots last week? Like, what do we think? A miracle is going to happen? They can't beat the Patriots, but they're going to beat the Texans, and they're going to beat the Bills when they play again. What do we think? What are we doing here?
Hey, if Daniel LaRusso can beat Johnny Lawrence in the All Valley tournament, anything's possible.
Yeah, man.
maybe you're
Crane
right.
kicks, bro. Crane kicks.
Well, on that note, enjoy your Halloween. Thanks for checking out Overpromised at Covino and Rich. Hey,
Congrats to the Dodgers.
Check
and
out-
happy Halloween, guys.
Check out our Patreon as well. Why not? Arrivederci, baby.
See you in the Overpromised land.
Oh.
Bonsai!
Goodbye.
Bonsai!